Hello everybody, welcome back to this video. I have missed you so much. It feels like we haven't talked in forever, especially not live like this. Welcome to July, by the way. It's finally, like everything has finally calmed down enough for me to pull it together and set up the camera and have a bit of a chat with all of you. So like I said, I'm super happy to see you virtually. This is going to be a bit of a catch-up video because it's been quite a while since I've told you kind of what's happening with everything. In the last couple of weeks and months, really, there's just been too much happening behind the camera for me to really post anything consistently, and I've been forced into a bit of a weird hiatus. But we are officially on summer vacation. It is the time I look forward to every year being a teacher. And I thought we'd just chat. I want to talk to you about a couple of things that's been happening over the last while. And always happy to have a conversation with you. Down in the comments, let me know what's happening in your life. I would cue you to go and grab a snack and a drink, but I've just got some cold water today in my tumbler, because gotta keep working on staying hydrated. So I'm just gonna have some water. Got some notes here so I don't ramble on in weird tangents and forget the actual important things I want to talk to you about. I do want to start off by saying, like, how are you? How are you just doing everywhere? I am so grateful to have made it through so many crazy things in the last work year. I think about my life nowadays as work years. As a teacher, you work kind of September to June over here. And I never do summer school. Now, never say never, but I have no intentions of ever doing summer school. I find in particular the role that I do, it's just a lot of things happening all the time, and I absolutely need the 2 months of summer to decompress and not think about anything to do with work. It actually does take a while for my brain to kind of phase out of that mode. It's a job where it's hard to separate your out of office life from your actual work life. Those of you who work in certain professions, I'm sure you'll definitely agree and can understand. However, officially, summer break, 2 months, during which I've only been on break for a couple of days, not even a week. I managed to book my second vaccination. So this girl is now double dosed. And I know it takes a little while for things to kick in. When I got my first dose of vaccination, it wasn't awful side effects, but I was quite nauseous for a good solid 2 days. Not throwing up, but like always just, skinning the edge of like wanting to puke, which is not awesome. And then when it went away and my body said, we're good, we're done, you just suddenly felt a whole lot better. So with the second vaccination, which I only had just a couple of days ago, I just got like really bad body aches. I think as the time I'm filming this is day 3 or so since my second vaccination, and my arm is still a little sore. Like if I lift it beyond here, I can feel it. But the rest of me feels fairly back to normal. But I would say, I had one complete day of just down and out, and the next day I was like 50%, and this is day 3 and I'm feeling much better, like well enough to wash my hair, put a lot of eyebrows on. Like I'm gonna talk about these eyebrows. I'm not feeling them right now, but I had to put something on, I feel like. So here they are. But yeah, it took 3 days for me to really get well enough to be able to talk to the camera and feel like I'm well enough to do that. But for all of you out there, wherever that you are, if you are here and you are healthy and you've got a place to be, I think we're doing okay. I keep talking with my colleagues, and during the last day, and we're like, wow, we made it through one full school year of teaching with mask on, washing our hands until our skins bled, and trying to pretend things are normal for the sake of the children. It's so crazy. I moved offices this year just to accommodate for certain spaces that need to be allocated in the school because of COVID. And when I was tidying up for year end, I went back to my old office and I was like, I don't remember what normal teaching was like before pandemic, because we taught a whole entire year in pandemic. Just crazy. But all that aside, so long story short, vaccinated, woohoo. I have also somehow managed to survive some record-breaking heat in the Vancouver Lower Mainland. This is kind of a two-parter. On one hand, you know, like, yes, it was awful and this and that, but we made it through. I probably had some like heat, what did they call it, like heat stress, heat something. Like, I was weirdly nauseous and flustered, and just, you know, all the things that happen when you're overheated. Most apartments and just houses here, unless you paid into it yourself, they don't have built-in AC. Like, it's really not a thing. I've lived here for about a little bit more than 25 years now, and just places don't do AC around here, you know, because it never really gets that bad. But during the last little while, there's been a few days where we've hit like record-breaking temperatures. Where I've been, we've hit 42, 43 degrees, and I am I'm in a place with a lot of windows. Try my best to keep all the shades down, you know, this and that, but there's really only so much you can do. You go hang out a bit at the library, hang out a bit at the mall, hang out a bit under a tree, and just do what you can, right? On the other hand, there's, you know, places in BC where it's been like super devastating with the heat. We have some local agriculture, not a lot in BC, but when you think just Tri-Cities, if you're in the Lower Mainland, or Okanagan, places like that, a lot of fruit farmers are just taking a big hit this year. Like, I was watching some of the news and they were saying like the raspberries, right, that people are growing and harvesting, the raspberries, the strawberries, they're literally like cooking on the vine, which is crazy. Which also leads me to talk about, hey, my garden is half dead because of those 2-3 days of intense heat. I can bottom water them as much as, you know, I can, but it doesn't protect them from the direct heat of the sun. My sugar peas that I've been nursing for like 3 months, that my mom had gave me a couple of months ago, were finally at a stage where they were producing peas pretty regularly. And then the heat wave came. I'll try to insert a little clip here of the aftermath, but after the first day of the heat wave, they were crispy. The leaves were like baked kale chips, okay? They're crispy. So I had to make the decision to cut them down because I didn't think they would survive the next couple of then consecutive days of the heat wave. It was just nuts. My strawberry plants, the leaves were also crispy. I've never seen, the plants do things like this. It was, as the news like to call it, unprecedented. For those of you who live in super hot places, I don't know how you do it. Maybe you just kind of hop from AC place to another AC place, but man, we are not fit for this kind of weather. So anyways, all that aside, it's much better temperatures now, and I hope will be for the majority of the rest of the summer, so we can all enjoy, with the vaccinations, second doses given out to a lot more people now, and increasingly so. I think they're thinking of making some changes to the mask wearing mandate, which means this girl gets to wear her lipsticks and lip glosses again. During the work year, where I had to be masked up all day, every day, they're like, nobody's thinking about their lips. Like, I wasn't thinking about anything, nose and beyond. I just put on eyebrows, and if you got eyebrows today at work, then I'm doing okay, you know? So I'm so excited to start wearing lip products again, and I still will, like, depending on how the rules ease or not. I think I'm still gonna wear a mask in like more crowded places, like if I'm taking public transit or I'm in a busy part of the mall. Like, I'll put one in my pocket and whatnot, but it'll be nice to have the option of not having to be masked up everywhere all the time. So I'm hopeful that this means there will be a bit more flexibility in places to go and things to do. Now, what else is there to talk about? Wow, I feel like I need to do like the biggest clean in the apartment. You know, we've just passed the heat wave week, and during that time didn't really cook, ate whatever was out of the pantry that I didn't need to turn on the heat for, didn't really clean, and it was the end of it coincided with the end of the school year as well. They actually, I think in the first time, if not ever, at least in a long time, they canceled school, you guys. They canceled school because of the heat wave. For the kids, the teachers started to go in to report into school, but that's another thing. But it's done and passed, it's done and gone. I don't think they've ever done that, which is crazy. And I think about, you know, the kids get all psyched up about the last day of school because you usually like put on a movie, we tidy the classroom and stuff like that, but no. Stay home because we don't want you to die. Yeah, it's quite a thing. But I feel like the apartment is just kind of not up to par of how I want to enjoy my space. I need my space to be done a certain way so then I can relax and really make the best of it and enjoy it. And you know, I'll replant some new plants and that part will be fine. I did get a little emotional over losing quite a number of my plants. You just wasn't expecting it, and they all just had to be cut down. But it's all done now, and new things will grow. And I went back to the garden store and bought a couple more new plants, and we'll just see how they go. Okay, let's talk plans. Plans for the next 2 months. I don't think there will be any major, you know, vacationing or out of town plans. Some of my colleagues had booked, you know, things way ahead of time with the hope that things will still be open. I decided not to pre-book anything, which on one hand is probably not the best decision, because now if I want to do anything, everything is booked up because people have been cooped up for ages, right? However, I don't want to pre-book something and then, you know, not be able to go because of restrictions and then have to go through the whole hassle of canceling everything. So I didn't pre-book anything. So should an opportunity come up and I get to go a little bit out of town, I might, but currently I don't have any of those kind of plans. Really, what this girl really just want to do is go to the beach. Okay, you don't understand about this beach. I don't really swim. I don't like getting sand everywhere. Our beaches are very, like, they're very, you know, northern beaches. It's not like, let me explain. It's not like when you go down to LA or somewhere in California, we have like sandy beaches. Our beaches are quite rocky, a lot of them, just because we're a little higher up north, and our beaches are not amazing for the beach. And it's very seaweedy and everything, but regardless, I can't wait to just go to the local spots, lay down the towel, and just lay there by the water. Like that is all I want to do. That is actually what I wanted to do last year. But of course I had to move and this and that, and just none of that ever happened. So I'm just so excited for the potential opportunity to go to the beaches, because there's quite a number of beaches around town. You know, you can go to Kids, you can go to English Bay, Spanish Banks. If you're really sassy, you can go to the Wreck Beach at UBC. Just there's a lot of places you could go. I am thinking potentially, you know, on those day trips, I just might make a day out of it and just go to the little shops that's local, and they're all in different neighborhoods, these beaches, and we might do some day vlogs maybe. I don't think this summer I'm going to necessarily do the weekly vlogs like I did last summer. That was more because I was moving and I just couldn't figure it out to do anything else. But I think this year I'm gonna do maybe those like day trip vlogs. Let me know if that would be interesting to you, just to see around town. If I do happen to go out for the day, and we'll make those like individual little snippets, because it's nice to get out and see how things are, because I haven't been to loads of these places. Another thing happening is that I have decided, now I haven't got this whole thing figured out, but I figure we'd talk about it so it's not like this big surprise, and maybe you have some opinions about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts too. Blogging nowadays is a lot of the tools, the programs, the hosting platforms I use for blogging, they're definitely getting much more expensive. And while this is a hobby for me, this is not, you know, a large source of income. I have, you know, clearly a day job, and that pays for most things. Blogging is definitely getting more expensive, and nowadays I think we're just about breaking even. I really don't make much from blogging, from YouTube. And you know, it's a fine line in terms of that work-life balance, or YouTube and life balance, and I'm still trying to find where I fit in there. And it, you know, last year was unexpected and unusual, but as a whole I have started a coffee account, and this is something I've heard from a couple of sewing bloggers. They've mentioned it, and I kind of have looked into it. So it's kind of like I think it's a slightly different version of a Patreon, which the whole premise is that you can take donations at 0% fee. So when they phrase it as like buy someone a coffee, right? Like if you really enjoy their content, you know, you want to support them beyond just clicking and liking and watching, and you've got a couple bucks to spare, buy them a coffee. And it's like KOFI, that's the name of the site. So that is one kind of part of the platform, and then there is like a membership kind of section where I think that's similar to Patreon, where if you subscribe, a paid subscription to be a member at different tiers, you can unlock different things. And then there's another section, this is kind of where it interests me. You can set up your own little storefront. Now, a bajillion years ago, I used to do Etsy to make some crafts and just sewing bits and bobs. I am not really interested in making that into a big thing anymore, but once in a while I still like crafting handmade things, and I don't want to stick them out on Etsy and have to keep relisting them and this or that. But I think the coffee platform allows you to have a storefront that is tied to your account. Anyway, as I was saying, the coffee platform allows you to have like your own little private shop. I don't know if you, again, I haven't looked into this in enough detail. I don't know if you have to be a paying member in order to access the storefront, or if anyone can access your coffee store. I hope it's the latter, because what I would like to do, because sometimes I like to buy cute fabric and just make little, you know, handcrafts here and there. I like the process of making them and I like how they turn out, but I don't always have the need for all the things that I like to make. So it would be nice if once in a while, if I happen to make something or I'm really thrilled about the fabric and I just want to like make something out of it, that anything that I wouldn't necessarily use, I can put up on the storefront. Nothing major, nothing big, but just another layer to think about. Those are kind of the two parts of the coffee platform I'd be really interested in. In terms of things like, you know, the membership tier and stuff like that, I don't feel like I have a lot to offer in terms of, you know, the different tier kind of things. I don't know. Tell me what you think. I'm not wanting this to be burdensome or, you know, on anyone. The fact that you guys like stick around and I actually know loads of you by just your username and sometimes by your real name is already fantastic. But I think it gives just an opportunity for me to supplement the cost that it takes to literally just host my photos on Flickr, because that's paid now. You know, subscribe to the Adobe programs I use to edit my videos, subscribe to whatever, like the things I need to make content, even on a casual basis. So I think for that, I'm gonna give it a try. I haven't gotten the whole thing set up yet, but I want to, you know, get your opinion on it. And the nice thing about the coffee platform, by what I've been able to learn so far, is that if you are just making a donation, they don't take any cuts percentage wise or anything like that, because they want a donation gift to be a donation gift, which I think is a really smart way to go about it. I think they do take a cut if it is a membership, if someone is, you know, subscribing into you for a paid membership, or if you do a transaction, like you sell something through your coffee storefront, I think they take a cut. But I think it is still cheaper or competitive with something like Etsy because you don't have listing fees. Anyways, that's going into too much detail and I haven't figured out all the details, but something I am thinking about to kind of tag a little something about my coffee account in future videos where it makes sense, I think. So let me know if you know about that platform, if you've encountered people who use it, or if you use it yourself, and what do you think about it. Patreon seems very specific and focused, and I don't feel like I fit very well into any of those niches, is my thoughts. Anyways, other things. I am thinking to bring back some live stream sessions. Bajillions of years ago, those of you who've been around, I used to do just periodically some live sessions where we could like chat about, you know, at the time I did a lot of beauty blogging, so we chat about like beauty stuff and this and that, and just an opportunity to connect with you guys live, right? That was kind of fun. And now that I'm in a space that's more conducive to like setting up these kind of things, I want to try bringing live sessions back, especially since I'm on summer break and I have a lot more flexibility in my time. I bought a little I'm gonna say plug and play, but you're not really plug and play, plug and use, I guess so, plug and use webcam. That way, if I'm like using a laptop or something, or like my actual computer, it doesn't have to be just stationed like that. I can actually move the webcam portion into, you know, a little bit more mobility and options in terms of where I set it up. Because what I would like to do, in my brain it sounds great, you let me know if it's good, I'd love to do some craft with me sessions, whether it be sewing or scrapbooking or whatever else I'm doing, because I find for me it's hard for me to condense like crafting videos into short videos, and the long ones take forever to edit. It just becomes this whole big thing. I just kind of like the make it up as you go idea of live sessions. sometimes you guys have asked for tutorials on sewing, and I just can't pull it together with the editing and the filming and all of that and the planning it takes to make a tutorial to the caliber that I would want to put it up on YouTube. So instead, because I am still gonna do my own little sewing projects, I love to do live craft sessions where I may be working on a particular project, maybe a sewing project. It lets me, you know, like for these 2 hours or however long, probably an hour or two sounds about right. For these 2 hours, we're just gonna work on this shirt, and you know, I know in my brain that I'm just gonna be focused on this, and I'll be here live with you guys, whether you want to be also sewing or you want to be scrapbooking or painting or, I don't know, doing your homework or whatever, do your housework. It's a nice way, I think, for us to connect, and gives me kind of set blocks of time to work on certain things. Probably for the first while it's going to be sewing related, but who knows, it might be other things later on. It might be painting, it might be any of my various other hobbies, but I think that would be really fun. I haven't explored the YouTube live stream options in a long time. I'm sure there's been upgrades, there's things that have changed. I haven't even tried out the webcam to see if it works. I sure hope it does. So there's a lot to figure out still, but you let me know. Would that be something you'd be into, to do kind of live hobby sessions? Whatever you want to call it. We're gonna come up with a better name. I don't have anything in my brain right now, but I think that'd be interesting. And I haven't thought as far as doing it on a weekday versus a weekend. A lot of people in the sewing community actually do live streams on weekends, so I wonder if I want to move mine to a weekday. Like, it would be an evening. I'm assuming a lot of people would work during the day, as to, you know, offset the number of people who do the weekend. If I can't do it on a weekday in the evening, that gives us, or gives all of you, another option, something to do during the week. It's almost like a little meetup, you know. But yeah, that's something I've been thinking about that I think would be kind of fun. I haven't decided, among all the other decisions, whether it should be like hosted on YouTube, like a YouTube live stream, or some of you have mentioned to try out Twitch. I don't know a whole lot about Twitch. I think it's mostly for gaming. I don't know if it's really complicated over there. Since most of you are on YouTube, I'm inclined to just do it as a YouTube live stream instead. But you let me know your thoughts on kind of bringing live sessions back, at least for the summer when I have much more flexibility in my time. Okay. I think these are kind of the major things I want to chat to you about. Side note, I keep doing the scratch because it's getting warm again and my skin is not happy with me, you know. Yeah, I think these are the main things. I am just happy that I'm on vacation. And I'm happy to be not wearing a mask all day because I'm in my own apartment. And I am happy to have food to eat and a place to be and the sun shining outdoors, but not too much sun, just enough. It's supposed to rain for 2 days this week, and I have never been so looking forward to the rain, ever. And yeah, I look forward to chatting with you down in the comments. I hope again that you are doing okay. If you have any suggestions for things you want to see over the summer, now that I have some more time, love to hear that. I did mention that I would like to bring some cooking videos back. Now again that I'm on break, and I bought a new little thingamabobble that will allow me to bring the stove out into better lighting. The kitchen lighting is not bad, it's actually pretty good, but I always feel a little scared because I have a like real fire being that close to my camera equipment. It makes me a little anxious. So I bought something electric. That's more to ponder about. I am just happy to be back and hopefully making some more regular content. I am assuming and thinking my next video will be a bit of a warm weather haul. I bought a couple things in preparation for the warmer season. I want to share that with you, but nothing too serious, and I look forward to seeing what you want to see. Chat with me in the comments. I will see you over on Instagram whenever I am not here, and I've got a whole bunch of comments from old videos to reply to. So I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.